What's going on, powerhouses? Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Guys, welcome to yet another podcast. This is the Prospecting on Demand podcast. Super excited to have you here with us today. Today is a very, very special evening. We've got an unbelievable guest with us here today, the OG, original gangster, original POD Hall of Famer, one of the first 5 members in Prospecting on Demand, and someone that I'm honored to call a close friend of mine. Phillip Caillavet is here with us tonight. We're going to be dropping some ridiculous value bombs over the next hour or so. There's no time limit per se to this podcast, but we're here to chat. First thing that I want to bring to the table here today, one, if you're watching with us live, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, who you're watching with. We appreciate that. Hit that like or love button. We always appreciate that as well. Today's podcast is going to be a little bit different than the first one you watched with Andres Velasquez. That first one was more of an interview style. Today, Phil and I are just kind of going to talk. Now, anytime Phil and I have our conversations, which we try to do at least once a month, we really are sharing ridiculous value. Last month, we had an unbelievable call with incredible breakthroughs together. And we just, at that exact moment, said, man, people would pay for these calls, just listening to us. So instead of having you to pay, we're coming on here live today to share this with you. Basically, here is my introduction for the podcast. This is going to be a show for entrepreneurs, marketers, aspiring business owners. Each episode is going to feature a POD Hall of Famer from the Prospecting on Demand Mastermind. This is going to be the opportunity to hear from a Hall of Famer who has the spotlight to share their insights on their specific topic of expertise. Specifically today, Phil is a man of many talents, jack of all trades, which is one of the best opportunities to see all of his very unique attributes that he's going to share today. We're going to help you utilize the tips and tricks that we're going to provide to grow your business, brand, and personal life too. This is not just about business. We are also humans too. So today I'm going to be joined by, again, Phil. So Phil, why don't you introduce yourself, tell everyone a little bit about who you are, and we'll dive in.
Yeah. For y'all that don't know me, my name's Phillip Caillavet. And get my last name right, I get tired of people saying it wrong. It's a Caillavet. Just if you see it spelled, just forget the I. But yeah, I'm a seasoned, I guess, networker and online marketer, and just decided one day that, me being the hardcore Republican capitalist that I am, that I want to help America and I want to help keep jobs in America. So what's one way to do that is to basically help small and medium-sized businesses get their word out and, play with the big boys. And, my road has been hard knocks. It hasn't been easy by any means, but I think I've hardened myself when it comes to, when it comes to, seeking stuff out and getting stuff done. That's the biggest thing now for me is no bullshit type attitude, making people, I'm all about the Jedi mind tricks. I tell people what I want them to do instead of ask people what I want them to do. So yeah, that's it, man. I mean, there's going to be a lot more come up, but hey, I don't like toot my own horn a lot.
So I want to talk about this 2 things there. One, first of all, Phil and I are going to be drinking tonight, having a little bit of fun. That's our style. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Leave. That's all good. If you're not interested in drinking beer or tequila, that's okay. You can drink a Coke or a tea or a coffee. We don't judge. This is what we're going to be doing. Loosen up a little bit and have a good time with you guys. I see a ton of people from the POD fam here. Give a shout out to Alvin, Alex, Cody, Jay, Daniel, my man, Stas. We appreciate you guys for being here. Anyone that's not in the POD family, we still love you. That's all good. Don't you worry about it. You'll be in the family soon enough anyways. 2 things that Phil brought up there that I want to bring to the table right now, and I want your thoughts on these, Phil. Number one, you said you tell people what to do. You don't ask them what to do. This is a huge thing that I've learned over the last couple of years. A lot of people ask for permission all the time. They're always asking, is this okay? Can I do this? And I get it. I understand why you want to have that mindset, making sure that what you're doing is right, but stop asking for permission. Start asking for forgiveness. What you'll start realizing, guys, is that that line might seem like, oh, you want me to do all these bad things that I have to ask for forgiveness? That's not the case. The reality is you're going to end up doing a lot more things without asking for permission. And even when you don't ask for permission, you probably did it right, and they're not going to be upset at you. And in the 1% scenario or 10% scenario that you didn't do it right, then you go ahead and ask for forgiveness. Phil, what do you think about that thought process about going for the idea of asking for forgiveness, not permission?
Yeah, the biggest thing is always, I mean, you got to look at it in this point of view. I mean, look, we're all prospecting. We all get people on the phone or in an appointment somehow, some way. But in my mind, they are on the phone call with me for a particular reason, simply because they need something that I am offering type thing. So when I let them know basically that this is, okay, my first question for anybody that I get on the phone, a new thing is, why tell me in a few sentences or in, the next 15 minutes, why you scheduled this appointment with me.
1,000%.
Number one question, I need to know that, because if we're not going to hit on that thing right there, that's number one, then we're not going to jive, you're not going to be ready for me. So that's kind of, that's the number one thing. And it's basically just, that's it.
I love that. Okay, so the second thing I wanted to bring up, Phil said he doesn't want to toot his own horn, and I totally understand that. Anytime I go on a live and I'm asked either to introduce myself or they introduce me, they're sharing what I like to believe is the highlight reel. Now I'm going to give a shout out Trevor Chapman. He said this on a podcast that I listened to recently, and it blew my mind. I had never once thought of that process, but it's so insanely true. And Phil and I have had these conversations many times. When Phil and I are going to come on here today and share successes and share opportunities for you to have successes, we also kind of forget about what happens to create that success, which is hundreds of thousands of missteps, mistakes, and what other people want to call failures. When someone introduces someone else or you're introducing yourself, it's just a highlight reel. It's just here's the best that I've done. And I mentioned this in a recent live that I did, that especially on Facebook, it's so powerful and hard to not be distracted online because everyone that posts is posting their highlight reel. Here's the great thing that I did today, forgetting about all the crappy things that happened to get there. So as you listen to Phil and I today, don't just forget that everything's a highlight reel. There's also the missteps and mistakes that we have been through, that we learned from, that allowed us to achieve what we want to call glory, extraordinary success, achievements, etc. I think that is a huge, huge key.
Yeah, I mean, and you go with toot my own horn and whatnot. That's, I'm going to give a good prop and shout out real fast to my good buddy, man. I met him probably a month ago, and I feel like I've known him my entire life, but Arjul.
Arjul, my man. He's here. What's up, Arjul?
I'm telling you, this guy, we're cut from the same cloth when it comes from networking and whatnot. So he edifies me. I don't have to say shit about myself. I don't have to at all, because the very first 2 minutes is a spiel of everything. He basically says my entire resume, and that says, you shall be honored to work with Phillip Caillavet.
100%.
Phillip, meet this person. And that's what it is. It's complete edification. Now, I want everybody to look up that word, edify. And at the end of this, take that dictionary directive of you talking about yourself in the third person? Sorry.
I talk about that all the time too. Yeah, third person.
Okay. And create your hype man. Create your hype man. The dude that's behind you, like, yeah, man, yeah. He's the guy. He's the starter. He's the opener. He's the guy that, he's the what do they call him in porn? The fluffer. So he kind of gets him started, and he basically edifies you as king of all everything before you even get into what you're trying to to accomplish on the sales.
So powerful that you made that, note on Arjul. First of all, shout out to Arjul. We love you, brother. We appreciate you guys, everyone that's watching today. So how did Arjul and Phil meet? So I'll kind of preface this. I'll tell you another little story about Phil, and we'll keep rolling here. So I think I'll preface this before I tell you how everyone met, how Joe and Phil met. I think I'll tell you how Phil and I met. So when I got started, this was about 1.5 years ago. I got started in a new opportunity in digital marketing. I had just grown my business to a new level that allowed me to hire managers, kind of explore other opportunities, and dive into new networking potential. And Phil happened to be in a group that I was in. I think someone connected us. I don't even recall exactly how it happened, but we got on a call. And the call was immediate connection.
It was love
from day one, brother, from day one. So right away, we knew that there had to be some opportunity for us to work together. Phil had his skill set. I had my skill set, and we believed that there was a good opportunity for us to put them together and create an incredible opportunity, product, service, etc. So what I told him at that time was, this was 4 months before I started Prospecting on Demand. I told him I was very interested and motivated by helping entrepreneurs grow businesses. And he said, I share the exact same belief. And he said something to me that still sticks to me to this day. I know that you still believe this to this day. He said, Alex, I thought about this recently because I have a kid now. I have a wife that I care about. And I have a lot of knowledge in here. And if I don't share that knowledge, it's going to go to waste. And I don't want it to go to waste. And I said, Phil, that is exactly what I feel too. I feel that exact same way. And that's why I want to create Prospecting on Demand. And he said, whatever you need, I'll never forget this. Whatever you need, I'm there for you. I've got your back, and I'll help you do it. So I went back to him about a month later. I said, Phil, I need a small investment from you so that I can invest my time into this and start the process. I'm going to create some of the videos. I need your help to give me feedback and make it better. So I did. And the very first video, Phil calls me up. He doesn't text me, does not message me. He calls me immediately and says, Alex, and I'm not going to mince words here, Alex, that shit sucked. The audio was garbage. The content was great. You were not passionate enough. What's the deal? Are you using headphones? I said, yeah, I'm using headphones. He said, I'm sending you a mic tonight. I'm going to send you a mic. I have an extra one. I'm sending you it tonight. Make the rest of your videos with this mic. Guys, this is the mic. It's a year and a half later, not that I don't have the finances to afford a new one, but man, it's a good mic. Why do I need a new one? Love it. The point of me bringing that story to the table is that Phil and I are also cut from the same cloth, the idea of helping people and caring about people. And that's why, and here's how he met Joe, and I'll converse into this story. When people join Prospecting on Demand, everyone wants the fast track. Everyone. The problem is to get my time or Phil's time in a consulting manner to really help you fast track, it's going to cost. There's investment required because our time is incredibly valuable, because we could be spending our time with our wives, our kids, our families, the people we care about, doing nothing, to be honest. That's also viable. We can watch Netflix instead. But basically, we're also not, we're never going to just push someone to the side. We're always willing to at least help a little bit. And Phil has said since day one that he's always wanted to be there for the POD members, because when him and I started working together, after he implemented his system at implementing the POD systems, his business really exploded, and him helping me implement my systems for POD helped us explode. Together, we created this symbiotic relationship that allowed both of our businesses to really grow. And the best part about it is it wasn't selfish between Phil or I. Phil or I and I are not on a mountaintop saying, woohoo, we did it, screw everyone else. It's how can we now get everyone else up on this mountaintop? And that is how Phil has met Joe and Stas and Adam Bullock and all the people that are on this, Cody Lanham, Josh Pfeiffer, hundreds of people I can name right now. Because anytime someone comes to me in the beginning of Prospecting on Demand and I give them my little insight, first thing I say is, you probably should go speak to Phil. Now, obviously, if they go speak to Phil, there's an opportunity to work together. If not, Phil's going to give you some insight, some opportunity, and share that with you. But he's never one to disregard someone, just like I am. And that is incredibly powerful. That's why we're on here today. That's why this was the most requested podcast possible. Get Phil on there. When's Phil coming on? When is Phil? Phil. It's here, guys. It's happening right now.
Awesome.
Tonight is going to be badass.
I mean, it's funny. It just comes to that because, look, the cool thing about me and Alex, when it comes to our teaching methodologies and the type of sales methods that we have and whatnot, it is completely yin and yang. That's why, like, whenever we're working together, it is like, it really is an avalanche. Honestly, if me and Alex put our two styles together, good cop, bad cop, or a good guy, dickhead, that it's we would have honestly, if you had a budget, we would have 100% closing rate. So hey, who knows? In the long run of things, we might be joining forces. But the good thing about the prospecting on demand is, look, you talk to Alex, he tells you the processes, he tells you the procedures. It's not theoretical. That's the one thing that I push all the time. It's not people saying, well, this is how it's done, step, and I'm doing a completely different thing. I told Alex at the very beginning of this thing, I was like, this isn't going to be some bullshit little course that you're going to just look up on Quora and get some people that ask some questions and then go and copy and paste the 20 steps to, get in $100,000 a month or something like that. It has to be something that you've tried and proven. And I can guarantee without a doubt that everything that he is putting forth into you guys, it is tried, it is true, and it's been tested hundreds and hundreds of times and thousands of dollars. Trust me, I've seen the ad accounts. I know. So the best thing to really do is whenever he talks to somebody, Alex might be the best guy for you to listen to or to get through that thick skull, man. But if I'm available to talk, I would like to talk to every single member because I might be able to reach you in a different way.
100%.
Push you to your true potential because, I can lead you. We can both lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink.
Force you to drink, 100%. And that's so true, man. I see this all the time. I'm going to blow your mind with some stats, everyone here tonight. I think this is going to give you some serious clarity. Okay, here's what happens when there's an offer that is irresistible. What happens is it does not just have to be in marketing, but I'm talking specifically for a business growth, investment in your growth. When you see an irresistible offer that you have to take, the risk is mitigated, the opportunity is massive, the value exceeds the price, all the opportunity is there for you to take action. And then someone takes action, but what happens afterwards? It's not necessarily buyer's remorse, but it's the realization that, oh, right, when I invest in something doesn't mean there's an automatic result, right? It's like the idea of going into the stock market, putting down $10,000 and praying that the next day you just turn that into 20. That's not how it works, right? So people forget about that when they invest in a course, when they invest in consulting, when they invest in someone else's time, in a product, in a service. They think it just automatically happens. And that's, of course, not the case. Action is necessary. That's why 1% of people that buy courses really get great results from it. Now, in Prospecting on Demand, we focus on accountability to help people get to the next level. That's why I'm pushing people to fill. That's why we have calls every month to get people to get rolling, because it just takes action to increase the opportunities. That's why we have over 55 of the members had their first six-figure year out of 170 people. It's an incredible number. But here's the craziest part, Phil. Here's the craziest part, everyone listening. This is going to blow your mind. We launched a new training. We opened up a new members area. All right. We did this, I believe, in, the 1 year anniversary. So in October. All right. That was about 4 or 5 months ago, right? Total people that had access to it was 150 people. Up to now, 99, 100 people, someone just joined, 100 people have accessed it, meaning 50 people that have invested either 497 3 times or 997 1 time have never even opened up the training.
What?
It's insane. It is insane. And here's the thing.
Send them my way. I'll sell them some bullshit.
It's crazy. It is crazy. It's because the idea that people want this expectation of opportunity that automatically things are going to fall in your lap because of the highlight reels, Phil, because they hear of your success. They hear of my success. They watch the webinar. They see other people's success and they think, if they can do it, we can do it. But they forget that the action is necessary. They forget that Phil implements. They forget that Phil stumbles. They forget that Alex practices what I preach. They forget that I make mistakes. This is
Alex does Zooms by himself. Alex does Zooms by himself,
100%.
Basically to prove it. And I don't like to, that's not my claim to fame, but I kind of jumped up on the scene in this whole thing is, I'm probably one of the guys that built David Rogemoser's system. that was just that was a big thing. I was the guy that got to $50,000 a month in 3 months, and it's portrayed as just, it's easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can jump in and have that opportunity. And if you're the type of guy or the type of girl that sees an opportunity going by and grabs it, that's the type of person that I'm going to work with regardless of. But through the thick and thin of things, man, it was so damn hard. It was so hard just being able to be like, hey, I know I could get $50,000 a month, but not knowing anything else, not knowing how to run an agency. I just knew online marketing. I knew networking. I didn't know. I mean, I hooked up a Stripe account and I sent people a freaking thing that says, hey, man, pay this bill. And I'll hit some low-hanging fruit, and I knew where I was going, but I didn't know I was, again, the jack of all trades. I don't really it's kind of like, I'm going to do everything. I'm a yes man. And that's what it started out as. But as fast as you can build it up is as fast as it can all fall the fuck down.
So one of the big things that I learned when Phil and I started working together is the idea of a house of cards. Perception's everything online these days. Numbers come out of people's ass. They pull things from thin air. They make shit up. It's part of the business. That's what people do. It's unfortunate. Phil and I both always try to be authentic, always start with integrity. We're not going to sit here and pretend it's always easy. It's not always easy to tell the truth, but we try to always be honest and have integrity so that we are valuable to the people listening to us. Otherwise, it's all fake. So with that being said, I'm going to share with you a couple of the mistakes and missteps that Phil and I have made together. And I think from that, you're going to learn a lot to see what we've learned from it. So I'm going to share a story. I'm not going to say the guy's name for purposes of being fair online. We worked with someone, we worked with an older gentleman. This was about 2 years ago. Late 2016. Mm-hmm. We worked with a gentleman, an older gentleman who had a big opportunity. And Phil is the master of real estate. That's his thing. That's what he does. He's had experience in it past. Anything related to real estate, I'm like, Phil, handle this. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks. So I get an opportunity. I think it was from an ad I had with a guy that was trying to sell a huge piece of land. I don't remember, I'm going to pull
428 acres, bro.
Okay, massive, ginormous piece of land in upstate New York. It's a very expensive property. I'm pretty sure it was over $250,000, over $500,000, I'm pretty sure, like 650,000 or something. And our job was to provide leads. Now, this guy, he was a little bit weary of paying us our management fees because all he wanted to do was you operate the ads and act essentially as the broker. If you get me leads that close, I'll give you a percentage. And when Phil and I were thinking of these numbers, we're like, oh my Lord, there is a huge opportunity. That's exactly what it was. We're going to be dancing in Hawaii together.
What were we getting, like 20, was it 12 or 25%? I can't remember. Regardless of, man, it was something like 60-something thousand dollars.
It was a huge amount of money, money that people make in an entire year, let alone a single deal. And we were just like, whoo, we're going to be in Hawaii together. We're going to be chilling and drinking margaritas. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have the best time. And it did not work even slightly. So here's what we first of all, what happened. The guy, total jerk.
Tell him what didn't work. The lead gen worked great.
Lead gen worked. He didn't do his job. So he didn't follow up. He didn't tell us if the leads were good or not. He didn't try to, make the deals. He literally wanted us to be the ads guys, the broker, the salesman. He wanted it all. And here's what we learned from that. And it was very clear. Number one, stop giving away free crap so you can get commission on deals that are really not going to happen. It's just not. Get paid. And even if you want to take a smaller commission deal, fine. But at least get paid. Get paid something. Your time is more valuable than a commission that's fake because it's not real if it does not happen.
Unicorn commission.
Exactly. So that's one. The next thing that we learned was expectations and setting expectations. Now, Phil and I are experienced in this. We had a lot of experience, but I think the dollar signs did this to our eyes. That old cartoon style, like
cataracts. It cataracted.
we just were blinded by the dollar sign. We could not believe that the opportunity had presented itself, so we did not frame in any effective way. And that led us to for lack of a better term now, complaining about this client, but a lot of it was also our fault for not framing effectively. So when you're speaking to prospective clients, make sure you're framing this. That's why Phil said at the front on every sales call, I do this too. It is a lesson in prospecting on demand. It is Ryan Stewman recommends it, the hardcore closer. Any closing, Jordan Belfort, anyone that does any sales or just any conversations in general, frame every conversation. Set the expectation so we know what's the deal. Why did you take the time today to get on a call with me? I want to waste your time. Click. I want to buy from you. Let's talk. It's a big difference, and that's a big key.
And follow that up with no one has ever seen Nip Tuck, go watch Nip Tuck. All right, their consultations. That is exactly how you want to be. It's basically like, why did you get on the phone with me? And what don't you like about yourself? What don't you like about your business? What do you want to change about your business? If you just get those 3 questions in and get them talking and spilling their guts and then bring them to the promised land and then get their credit card, I'm telling you, you'll close it all. It's
huge.
So guys, I make it sound so simple, Alex, but I think that the reality is people are used to it feeling like it's not simple. So they create a blockade in their mind that makes it harder. Phil and I, as we speak, it might sound simple, and that doesn't mean it's not simple. It just means you have to put in the work, but also don't beat yourself up before the opportunity happens. This is something Phil and I talk about all the time. Look, Phil and I are both human. I look up to people that can also motivate me, just like he spoke about Arjo motivating him. At times, Phil and I both don't feel motivated. And if I call up Phil and be like, bro, I'm not feeling it today, he's going to say, you're a superstar. You're a rock star. You can crush anything. Just as much as if he called me, I do the exact same thing. Shout out to John Davey. He's huge on that for me also. Yeah, John's awesome at that.
Love John. Love John. But it's huge. It's so important because a lot of the times we're our own worst enemy. We battle ourselves more than we battle the client objections, the issues we have in our business, our family's objections, our wife, our kids, the whole charade that you create in your brain. It's usually not a reality. So but don't harder than it needs to be.
Don't you chalk that up to but look, we're goal setters. We're goal oriented. And I'm not talking about the goal like get your 5-year plan or your 10-year plan. Fuck that shit, dude. I'm talking about get your February 28th plan.
That's what I'm talking about.
March 13th plan. And don't be like, I'm going to make $100,000 in 2.5 weeks. Not going to happen. No. I would like to make $1,000. Something small. Get it to where you are setting goals for yourself that you can hit. Why there's enough pressure on you. There's enough pressure from your wife. There's enough pressure from the car the car note from the mortgage people to make you pay the shit. You have to pay it. It's just, hey, we're not 13 years old, 14 years old, living in mama's house, eating up all the Fruit Loops and cornflakes and nothing, and you have nothing to worry about. Everything seems awesome. People always ask me that, would you like to go back? I'm like, hell yeah, I'd like to go back. Just know what I know now. But these little bitty things that you can kill, and then what it does, it just gives you that power. It gives you that sense of just killing it, And honestly, man, like, what is it? I'm a huge comedian fan, So Eddie Murphy, Raw,
legend.
The dude, what is it? That all the white guys get out of watching Rocky, and they think all of a sudden, man, they watch Rocky and they're like, man, we could fight, man. We bust him up, Rocky just busted up Apollo, man. I could bust up anybody. That is the type of mentality, honestly, that you have to have, because the cool part about this thing is something that these people that you're talking to don't know. So you have that ability. And you know how many times, it's crazy, it's going to be funny. You know how many times I've been called a wizard or like a witch, but just because of retargeting and RTB and display ads, because they don't understand it. They don't know it. And who cares if you talk about retargeting and display ads and RTB? No one knows what that shit is. Say when you're looking up your sports center scores or your fantasy scores, and you see Alex Schlinsky's face in the corner, like that. Do you want that to happen? Basically, you come into my world, and now I'm gonna follow you around. That's the type of stuff that it's crazy. I mean, and you have that ability to be able to get out there and have that confidence, knowing that all you have to do is know a little bit more. You're going to run into those people that know everything. They're like, oh, I've been funnels and click funnels and all this stuff. But naturally,
you don't have to know it all. You don't have to know it all. Focus on your strengths, delegate your weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. They might know it and stuff, but I tell people this stuff all the time. Look, man, you own a freaking dental office, or you're a real estate agent. Do you really want to learn how to market? Because I tell you what, I'm spending way more money than you're making learning this shit every single day, and it changes in 2 months faster than anything else than you've ever freaking known about. So do you want to concentrate on selling houses, or do you want to concentrate on learning how to market? Because I'll teach you how to learn to market too. It's a lot more expensive.
It's powerful. So there's a couple of very important things that you brought up there that I want to touch on. Number one, confidence. I think that is an absolute key. Also, one of the big things about confidence, people like to act like if someone says that they're confident, they can't be confident, or that they're arrogant. Forget about that garbage. Confidence, arrogance, fine line, two-edged sword, doesn't matter. Be you. Focus on you. Don't worry about what anyone else says or thinks unless they are close to you and they matter to you. That's it. Other than that, confidence is key. If you're not confident, why would anyone be interested in talking to you and listening to you and buying from you? It's irrelevant. That's number one. Number two is I really believe the number one key attribute to any entrepreneur is adaptability. And here's why I believe that. So being confident has one major pitfall. When you run into an obstacle, and I'm talking about an obstacle going 60 miles per hour into a brick wall, and you hit an objection that you're not prepared for, that confidence quickly falls away to despair, needing attention, hoping for the sale, right? It suddenly becomes desperation. Confidence to desperation in 0 to 60 faster than the Tesla. It's insane because you hit a wall, because you hit an objection. Adaptability is so important. You need to be nimble. You need to be like a ballerina, capable of transitioning and moving and coercing yourself into something else all the time. That does not mean lying. That does not mean being deceitful. That just means being prepared for when things are not going to go the way you anticipate. Because guess what? They're not going to always go the way you anticipate. That's just how life is. It's not just business, it's life. Go ahead.
That's life in general. And and it's funny. I want everybody to do this too. I do some crazy off the wall shit, dude. I'm talking about people don't even write about the type of shit that I do. So eventually I'm gonna write about it, and you're gonna learn it all, or be able to at least witness it all. If you ever run into an objection, I want you to go out and I want you to figure out the knock joke that is most in line with your personality, or anything. Just if you think it's funny. If you run into an objection that you're just stumbling and fumbling it on, and you'd be like, and just stop the whole thing and be like, you know what? Knock, knock. In the middle of a freaking sales call. I'm not even bullshit. Knock, knock. And I guarantee if they don't say anything, say knock, knock. And there somebody with some kind of sense is going to say who's there and finish your knock, knock joke. And I'm telling you, it'll be completely lower all of your inner stress. It makes everything so fun. And that's
people
just
put sales on a pedestal, right? They put sales on a pedestal because and we're about to dive into Go for No, guys. And if you've ever listened to Phil or I, and you know what we're about to talk about, but here it is.
Read it. If you're in POD right now and you're not reading this fucking book, I'm telling you,
better know.
I will jump on a plane.
Send it to you
with this book.
So here's the thing, right? People put sales, they put it on a pedestal because we're so honed in on a daily basis to like the right now. And I like that. And I'm going to go esoteric here for a second. The reality is we only have now. Like that's all we really have. We don't have the past. It's gone. We don't have the future because it's not guaranteed. We only have now. So I understand why you might come to the objection later to me and say, well, Alex, how can I think about the future when we only have now? I get that. And you do need to enjoy the present and you need to be satisfied with the present. The reason it's called present is because it's a gift. You are gifted this opportunity right now. But more important than that, in the grand scheme of your business, you can't just live moment to moment. It's impossible to scale or grow at all. That doesn't
moment to moment is living check to check. Just remember that shit.
Don't do that. Don't live check to check, please. And here's the point, right? So when you are on sales and you put it on a pedestal, like this is a $2,000 deal, I must close it. If I don't close it, everything's going to fall apart. Forgetting and neglecting the fact that there might be a $2,000 deal on the back end of the next call tomorrow. Like you just completely neglect it. So you put it on this pedestal, you make it such a high stress situation that you're not in your groove, that you're not confident in what you're about to offer. So you get off your game. And when you're off your game, no one's interested and they're not going to purchase from you, even if the offer is unbeatable, even if it's irresistible. So always remember that not a singular sales opportunity is the end of the world. Every sales opportunity is the opportunity to learn. And here is where the go for no comes from. And I'm going to let Phil talk about this here in a second. But before so, I'm going to bring it up because Phil and I have spoken about this, I don't know, 100 times probably. It's so insanely powerful. And it's just a reminder to myself. I have a sign that says go for no because it's so powerful to remember this. Everyone is focused on yeses in the world. People want yes men. People don't want to, they want to blame others. They don't ever want to take, a fault for themselves. Everything is always some other reason, some external reason, instead of focusing on your locus of control. So everything is honed into the yes. You're just desperate for that yes. Well, the reality is winners hate losing more than they care about winning because they expect to win. They expect to win. But when
you're last, man.
But when you lose, it's not the time to wallow in self-pity and hatred and think that you've done and you can't accomplish anything, because that is you living moment to moment. Instead, you go for that no. You're trying to create the no, because every no means there's an objection that you have to overcome the next time. It means there's a learning opportunity to understand what you did wrong on this opportunity to get the no in the first place. When you're focused on succeeding or learning, your growth is going to be exponential. That is how you create quantum leaps. That's how you go from someone that is making $1,000 a month to suddenly making $10,000 a month recurring like this, because you're not wallowing in the singular lost sales call. You're focused on now the next 10, I'm prepared because I knew what I did wrong there. That's the key. Go for no every single day.
Gamify it, people. Gamify it. If you know, I was talking, a couple of people I was talking to this week, and they were like, what is your close ratio? Or how many people do you close on this stuff? And I'm like, well, it goes a couple ways. For every 10 people that I talk to, I immediately disqualify 5 because they're not ready. Because my number one question is, why did you get on this phone call? If they don't know what they're trying to do, they don't know that they're at this level and they want to get to this level. And then my next question is, hey, look, my services start at $2,600 a month. Can you afford that? I don't want you to be mortgaging your house. I don't want you to be begging for money.
Oh my God, yes.
This fucking money. Can you afford that? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. Now we can talk. If not, done. If they stumble, if they fall back, if I can sense stuff. I'm like a fucking dog. So I can smell fear, and fear of paying me and fear of the unknown. I'm outie. So out of 10, 5 are gone out the rip. 3, I close. I'm bringing in 2 new clients a week, every single week. No bullshit. And I would be bringing in 3, but I give somebody the benefit of the doubt or the stream to go on into the next week. So it really helps me look better, because I would be taking 3 a month, but I get 3 a week, but I get 2, and the third one goes on over into the next week. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, to keep up my 2 streak, I just need to get 1. But I'm not going to just settle. I'm going to go for no. I'm going to hit the calls. I'm going to hit the phone. And nowadays, look, I'm not a slacker, but I am the, if I could be called anything, there's one word that would describe me better than anything else. Some people think you could be naming words. I wish I could see some comments. I want to see, put in the one word that you think describes Phillip Caillavet.
I mean, gangsters is going to be thrown everywhere.
Gangsters going to come up. Gangsters going to come up. There's just a lot of damn stuff that's going to come up. Leverage. I'm going to share something that I've never shared publicly ever before. Ever. Okay. I got to $60,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue for 4 straight months in a row part-time with a W-2 job. Okay? Not even playing.
POD Hall of Fame?
I figured out to leverage. Look, okay, if you don't know, I'm sorry. I took my website down because it was killing me. It was killing me because I'll give you a little bit of background. I'm come from the network marketing world. I'm a network marketing coach. I'm a six-figure earner in network marketing. I had a top 30 network marketing blog in the entire internet. And I just had to take it down because I didn't want to be noted as that anymore. But I've taken what I've learned from that and I've put it into this business. And that is where Go for No came from. Let me just get back to where I was going with that. Go for No, people will get so upset about a no. But if you know what your closing rates are and you know without a doubt that you talk to 10 people, and you're going to close, let's just say you're shit at the very beginning of your career, and you could get one of those. All right. One of those people paid you $1,000. Okay. How much did every conversation cost? What was the revenue of that? So if you spread out your 10 conversations to get that one, and it made you $1,000, $100 per conversation. All right. So in your mind, you have to think of it as not glass half empty, which my shit's empty. I'm about to have to refill it, but glass half full. For every no that somebody told me, it was worth $100 to me. $100. And just to get to that next person. I mean, everybody's heard the thing about the guy that just kept digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. And he sold his shit to this guy because he just kept digging for years and years and years. And the person that bought it, he dug for 2.5 days and hit the largest gold reserve in the entire world. That's the type of stuff that you're getting to. If you know without a doubt that for every no that you get, it's like putting a $100 bill in your fucking bank account. How many people will you be talking to? Your wife better be threatening divorce because you won't get that fucking earbud out of your ear. You know, I was blowing up, dude. These things, I kill them. I blow them up. As far as like the things on your ear, I had to, whenever they came out with wireless shit, cool, dude. I'm buying everything fucking wireless that there is.
Run them into the ground.
But that's the type of mentality that you have to have. In my world, like, I mean, we just hit, I mean, I think on the 15th of this month, we hit $32,000 in MMR. And it keeps going up, you know, but I was the guy who got to 60,000, but then got to 10 real fast. Everybody hears about my meteoric rise in the first 4 months because I knew who I was. I was a networker.
That highlight reel.
You know, the highlight reel, you know, basically no one says, hey, here's part 2 of the 30 for 30. Phillip decided that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yep.
I just knew that I could sell and I could promise the fucking world to people, which I gave them the world, but I didn't know that 20% margins were some booyah. Wow, I didn't even cuss on that part. Was not good margins. It was not. I mean, so everybody thinks I got to $60,000 a month, but I made $12,000 off of that. That's now I'm at 100% margins. If I make $60,000 a month, I'm making $60,000. You know that's
man, so powerful.
Because of leverage. But let's circle back. It's leverage. I leverage other people. I leverage people that are good at what they do, so I can afford to spend time with my wife and spend time with my family and actually be able to do stuff like this. I mean, I did 3 sales calls from 4 o'clock Mountain Time. So 4 o'clock to the time I got on this call. So 2 hours, I did 3 calls and I got 3 proposals going out. You know, that's just how fast this stuff goes. But if you just really think about the whole go for no type thing, man, I'm telling you, read the book. I've met Andrea Waltz. I've met the people that wrote it. My good buddy, Ray Higdon, if you're in the network marketing world, I know you know him. He's just the genius. And he rewrote the book with them for Go for No for network marketing. So, but still, just pick up the book, read it. And
great book. It really is so good.
That book, and then there's two other books I want you to read for sure. It's called One Thing. And then The War of Art. All right.
The opposite of Art of War.
Yes, dude. The War of Art will change your life. Listen how crazy this is. I've lost that book 2 times in first class, along with a pair of Ray-Bans and on the one time I lost a pair of Ray-Bans with the book in first class. And the next time I lost G-Shock, a brand new white G-Shock my wife just bought me, and the book. So I lost it twice. And I got it again in my freaking thing, man. So it's that good of a book, man. You have to get
classic. All right, guys. So here's what I want to do now. One, if you're enjoying this podcast, throw a 7 in the comments below. That's my number. I want to see
3 is my favorite number. Throw a 3 in it, Dennis.
7 or 3s, we're cool with it. You could do 73 if you want. We don't really care. Throw emojis, whatever you want. Just tell us that you're loving this. Stas wrote Phil Caillavet. I like it. I'm a fan. Guys, we're going to, first of all, I've got my refill. Phil, cheers, my man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, guys, so we're going to transition this here for a second into some other things that I want to bring to the table for you guys that I think is going to be a little bit of fun. I do want you to know that we will have a couple minutes today for what's the word, Q&A. If you guys have any questions that you want us to answer, just throw them in the comments. There's no dumb question. It's one of the biggest things I say in Prospecting on Demand. There truly is no dumb questions. The dumbest question is not asking, because you just can't get it. Don't worry about your positioning. Don't worry about if you look stupid. Don't worry about it. Just ask. It's all good. Use your
chance, because we're $500 an hour, so use your damn chance.
Hey, there you go. That's true. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. It's a new little thing. I want to see if you guys enjoy this. If you do, let me know after we do it. It's called Hot Words. Now, it's a classic thing. I've seen it in a million things. I don't know if I've actually got it from an actual podcast before, but I thought it would be fun to just throw out a couple words to Phil and get his immediate thoughts on them. Now, when I told Phil about this, Phil and I didn't really prepare for the podcast. We spoke about it. We spoke about it, 2 weeks ago. We set the time.
We're setting the time. That's the number one thing.
Yeah, set the time is first. We'll just talk and we'll be good. We don't really need to prep. So we got on 5 minutes before this. I told him some of the topics we wanted to talk about: mindset, managing, delegating, outsourcing, go for no, sales, managing stress. So we'll talk about managing stress and fast client. Those are 2 things I want to talk about. But I also brought up that I want to do hot words. And he's like, okay, what are the words? And I said, no, I want them to be natural. I want to.
That's the dickhead of Alex right there. Give you the words. He's true to his word. I promise you have no idea. I feel like I'm like, I took a personality test yesterday just to see kind of if I've changed, and this is more stressful than that. So go ahead.
Guys, first of all, I see a bajillion 7s and 3s and everything. I appreciate you guys. Edward asked if it's bong water. It's not bong water. It is. It is.
Okay. It is. It's called Clase Azul, and you're kind of Hispanic, so you should probably know what it is. So
Phil is very classe, as you can see.
Yeah, it's a Blanco, and it's 100% pure agave, and it's got a little agave leaf on it, and it's actually got an agave leaf in the inside. You really can't see it. So.
Wild. All right, guys. So we're gonna do hot words right now.
Hot words.
And I came up with these words before the call. I might just throw a couple extra ones in there. Phil, what I want you to do, perfect. That's exactly what we need. What I want you to do is I don't want you to think. I just want you to literally just say the first thing that comes to your mind about that word. If you want to expand or expound upon the thought process of it, feel free to. There's no real rules.
You'll get nervous, bro.
Get points deducted. You'll get points deducted if you screw it up.
It's funny. This shit gets me nervous, but asking for $20,000 doesn't get me nervous at all.
Oh man, I'm pumped. All right, so let's do some of these hot words. All right, first. Facebook. Oh, Phil, did we lose you? I think we might have lost Phil for a second, guys. We'll wait till he jumps back in, which is not a problem. But what we're going to do here, again, quick hot words, share some of the notes that we have on some of these quick words to kind of get an idea. And while we're waiting for Phil to get back on here, again, guys, feel free to throw any comments that you have in the feel free to ask any questions, in the comments below. More than happy to answer you guys. Really appreciate all the activity on here tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a really good time. I'm going to get Phil to get back in here. Not a problem at all. We'll get him back in here, guys. And in the meantime, I'm going to bring up something a little bit different till Phil gets back on. Apologize for the technical difficulty. Adaptability, though, right? Adaptability. I was going to bring this up at the end of the podcast, but I'll bring it to the table now. It's going to be a new post that I do, I think, every Friday. I think I'm going to do it every Friday. And this is going to be the 5 things I learned this week. Number 1, success is not achieved. It is accrued. Unbelievably important thing to remember, that success is not just a singular achievement. It's an accrual of all the work and opportunities that you've really put together in this business. And it's really, really important that you actually go ahead and utilize that. Okay, Phil, you back, my man? You good?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good. Okay, awesome. We're going to remove the other Phil, and we should be good now.
I don't know what happened. It was kind of weird.
All good. I think I can't remove it.
I'm on that prepaid internet, bro.
All right, guys, we're going to get back to the hot words. I'll come back to the 5 things that I learned. Appreciate you sticking around through some technical difficulties. Adaptability, though, right? We got to get through it.
Dude, if you didn't stick around for these technical difficulties, that's bullshit. Alice is giving you a refund. You had a POD.
You're already part of the fam, guys. I think we're just going to keep the frozen Phil on here because I can't remove it.
I can't get it out either. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. Who cares? We got a frozen Phil with his finger at his mouth. We got it. Good. All right, guys. Let's roll here.
We were talking in a word.
Before I do this, Kyle Battis, amazing comment. My drink must be good. I'm seeing 2 of Phil.
Oh, love it, dude. Hey, I'm gonna put that as my pinned.
That is brilliant.
That is hilarious.
Kyle, we love you. That is excellent. Oh, here we go. You're gone. Okay, sweet. All right, back to it, guys. All right, 5 hot words that I'm going to go through. And here we go. Facebook.
The future, man.
LinkedIn.
What did you say?
LinkedIn.
Better get on it now.
Yes. Systems.
Everything about 2018 for me.
Ooh. Mindset.
Number 1 above everything. If anybody else tells you anything different, slap them in the face.
Entrepreneurship.
It's the way of the future, and I really believe that. Am I supposed to be doing one word? Or
no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship is the new Harvard doctorate degree.
Ah, okay. I like that. My final one, I just added this right now because I ask every single person about this, and I think it's incredibly important, and we're about to get very real. Why?
Why ask why, try by dry. Wait, no. Why?
Why do you do it? Why?
Everybody's is like the family, the kids, and the whatnot, that is like the huge driving force for me. But that's more of like the benefit of me being able to do this because I know where it's going to end at. But goes all the way back to the very beginning of what you said. None of us are promised tomorrow. All right. So if there is something that I know, there is something that I know that could help one individual get out of the hood or get out of, the not having what they needed as a kid or get out of a bad marriage or whatever. If there's anything that I have that can help with that, I need to give it out and give it freely. If I can put it out in a different place to make it more, I guess, cheaper for people, me personally, look, my time is worth a lot, but and I'm working on a good book, I'm working on a good, like, I might do the first, honestly, ever program or training class that's completely free. I don't care. Just get in and get in the mind of me. And it's I don't know. So that's just the biggest thing. If I can just give back before I'm gone from this earth.
I love it.
This wisdom, that's why.
I love it. And I want to bring something up here about that too, for a second, and give a couple of shout outs. First of all, my why has always been clear since day one. Every single thing that I do, it's for Shira, it's for my wife, it's for my family, the kids I want to have. I look at Phil as a dad, and I'm incredibly inspired by what he's capable of doing. I want to be a dad. I want to be able to provide for my family.
It took me 7 years to become a dad, guys.
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. One of the big things, though, outside of the personal wise, and people like to say personal wise are selfish, and that is absolutely not true. Selfish that's what the world is. It's you or who else, right?
Selfish is I want $1 million.
Exactly. So like, here's one big thing that I will really never forget. When I started working with entrepreneurs after I had my agency kind of handled, the one major thing that I wanted to do was help other entrepreneurs achieve the success in their life and in their business. And one of the first people, Phil, you were probably the first person we had good success with, but you were already pretty successful at that point. So we kind of.
But you brought me back up, dude. You brought me up from that low of like, hey, I'm overspending. I went back to $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and POD got me back up to the plus 20, and I've not been under 20 in the last year.
So another person in the top, another original POD Hall of Famer, one of the first 10, I think 15 people that joined POD, Edward Morales. Edward, I don't know if you're watching, man, but I got to give him a shout out.
It's because my wife just heard me say something about Mexican, and I was like, dude, it was to Edward. No, I said Hispanic, and it was kind of like, it was to Edward.
So about Edward, and I'll give this note to you guys, and this is related to my why. I really wanted to make sure that my content in POD was viable and valuable and people would succeed from it, because you want that feeling that you can help people, because that's what I did it for. I didn't do it just to create the finances. Obviously, that's an effect of it, but I wanted to make sure that if someone's going to pay me and join POD, that they're going to get the results that they anticipate. So when Edward and I first spoke, he had 4 really bad clients paying him about $500 a month, taking all his time and energy away. He had a young daughter, a wife to provide for, and he was stressed out of his mind. I'll never forget the type of call that I had with him. It was so insanely powerful. It's like we were connected from day one. And I just told him straight up in almost exasperation, just, man, I'm telling you, if you come in here and you join POD, I can help you. We can help you achieve what you want to achieve. We can help you overcome the problems that you have in your business. And like 2-3 weeks later, he messaged me and told me that he fired the 4 crappy clients. He went on LinkedIn, he put together some ads, he did the process, and he got 4 new clients paying an average of $1,250 a month. And he was like, you changed my life. And I was able to provide for my wife, and I went to dinner, and I take my kid to Disney. And I still have the original message that he sent me. And this was like November 2016, like a month and a half after we started POD. And I remember reading that with Shira. I sent it to my dad. I sent it to my brothers. I was so emotionally invested in Edward's success, and I have been in everyone else's success in POD, because then that was when I realized that I was doing what I was meant to do, to help someone accomplish the things that maybe they couldn't do by themselves at that moment. And for someone to tell me that I made any difference in their life at all was the most powerful moment that I've truly ever had in my business, or potentially in my life. So Edward, I appreciate you so much. I'm so happy that you're part of the POD family. I'm so happy that I've had any effect on you, and anyone here and everyone that's really on here today, a lot of people in POD. I appreciate you guys so much. I don't know if I mentioned that enough, but gratitude is a massively important part of my life and my business. And I can't go on a call without at least mentioning how incredibly indebted and grateful I am to have this group, to be friends and mentored with someone like Phil and everyone here. And it's just so great to have that opportunity. So when you can create a change in someone's life, take that opportunity to do that. Don't bypass that opportunity. take it.
Yep.
I wanna close out today's.
I just sent Edward money, by the way. If Edward, you're here, let me know. I just sent you money, bro. And I hope he would figure out why. So he would know.
So what I want to do. Go ahead.
I said I'm not even playing.
What I want to do here is I want to close out today's podcast with two things. One, we'll answer any questions you guys have. I see a couple. Jay Daniel, Stas. Anyone else that has any other questions, feel free to throw that out there. But we're going to close it off today with the 5 things that I learned. I already shared one of them. I'll share it again. Phil, feel free to interrupt at any point and share your thoughts on any of these 5 things. I'm going to start doing a weekly post.
Can you flip them one more time to me so I can kind of have them once I had to be jumped, kind of flipped. So, I mean, I just kind of want to make these work well.
They're in the chat.
Yeah, so let me just tell you one thing before we go into this.
Yeah, go.
Edward, me and Edward are, man, dude, the guy is, I would do anything for this guy. I mean, anything when it comes to the type of person he is, the type of leader, the type of person that you would want to follow or that you want your kids to follow. He's that type of guy. He has that much couth and that much go get. So we're in the same niche. We do a lot of the same stuff together, man. We throw stuff back and forth to each other, dude. And who gives shit about competition? You know, there's 250,000+ realtors and mortgage agents in the United States. We can't handle all of those guys. Impossible. We let people know. I let him know, hey, bro, I'm spending $5,000 a month in your neck of the woods. You might not want to go spend $500 for your client because it's going to turn out bad. So I let him know that real quick, but he has some guy that is not really quite his straight and narrow. He knows, look, I've had a real estate investment firm since 2010. I've been in the real estate investment world from putting out signs and doing mailers. And I turned that into an entire online marketing and lead gen service. All right. So he just shoots me. He said, hey, man, he said, I just scheduled you an appointment on your calendar for a guy. All right. And you know how long it took me to close this guy? This is going to blow your motherfucking mind, dude. 4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes. I told my wife, I was like, I had the fastest close I've ever had in my entire life, man. In 4.5 minutes, I told the guy, look, you came from my buddy Edward. He hooked it up. He set it up. I'm giving you a little bit of a discount. And I just gave Edward 30% of everything that I get from the guy, recurring. So every single month, Edward's now going to be getting a payment of $400 or $500 every single month to, just because it was a straight referral. He understood that, there's, look, we're a family, man. We're a straight family. If you're not in POD, it is unlike anything else I have ever seen on the internet. And trust me, I am in hundreds of groups. I've paid thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to be in some of these groups. And there is nothing, I repeat, nothing that comes close to the amount of value and camaraderie and family that you get from Prospecting on Demand group.
I appreciate that so much. Guys, if you're in POD, throw a hashtag POD fam in the comments, please. We want to see who's here with us. While we do that, there's 2 more things that we're going to do on today's podcast before heading off. What an incredible podcast this has been. So much fun. About a beer and a half in. If I finish this, things are going to starting to get weird, so we're not going to get there. What we're going to do is we're going to discuss the 5 things that I learned this week. We're going to answer any of your questions. We're going to close out with one major question, the same question I'm going to close out basically every podcast with. And then we'll go from there, guys, and we'll see you back into the POD group shortly. Anyone that is in POD, we have the mastermind call next Wednesday. So keep that in mind, the accountability call. We'll see you all there. So here are the 5 things I learned this week. Phil, feel free at any point to kind of share your thoughts on these. I'm going to kind of break them down first. And then first of all, you know what I'll do? I'm going to throw them in here in the comments. Okay, those are the 5 things. I'm going to read them now. And then I'm going to kind of break down each one of them real quick, and then I'll give Phil the opportunity to do the same. First of all, success is not achieved. It is accrued. This is something I heard from Trevor Chapman. This is unbelievably important and valuable. I've never heard anyone say it like this, and I think it's so true. People want success to be like the day after. Now, let me preface this and frame this for a second here. Success is only determined by you, right? It's only determined by you. No one else can determine your success. If success means for you to make $1,000 this month, by all means, go after it. That is totally fine. Doesn't mean you're not successful. Get it, right? So success is not achieved, it's accrued. The hard work and actions that you take is what achieves that success. That's how you will grow your business. That's how you grow in your life. Number two.
Like, should I not have a chance to talk on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. All right. Oh, I tell people this more than anything. And it sucks sometimes because it's analysis. Paralysis of analysis. You think so much about it that you know what you want to do, and then you fuck it up and you don't do it. So the biggest thing there is go out and mess up. That is, I guarantee you, this is the hardest lesson that you have to learn. And this is what I live by. All right. This entire thing, when Alex showed me this, it was like, number one, I was like, shit, dude, that should be the last thing we fucking talk about, because that is the number one thing. Success is not achieved. It's accrued. Powerful. It's hard knocks life. It's going through, it's getting knocked down and getting your ass back up type shit. All right. That is how you got to think of it. People are, go out there, mess up. Get in sales calls, get in the frame of mind. You think I'm a self-proclaimed, which a lot of other people say it too, so it's not just me, cold call guru. I'm a cold call king. I get on the phone with anybody, and I can, I'll let some people know, I'm not just Phillip Caillavet all the time. I could be Apollo Creed. I could be this guy with a crazy Australian accent. Set appointments for yourself. Get on there. Do some appointment generation, do some lead gen, set some appointments for yourself. All right. So get in there, get dirty, and mess up, because I guarantee you one thing. If you the whole thing they say about, forget it, mess up, because if you mess up, I guarantee you, if you're smart, you won't do it again.
Same idea as going for no. You just got to learn from every scenario.
Get out there and fuck up, dude. Get out there and fuck up. There's somebody else to go to, but you're not going to say what you said last time in the last meeting that made the guy hang up on your face. You're not going to say it again.
I'll make one point on that. And Phil, I get this all the time. Alex, can you help me with sales? Like, I'm struggling. I can't close. Okay, do you record your calls? No. Why? How can I possibly help you? First of all, if I can't listen to the recording, and if you don't know what's the problem.
Am I supposed to be the fly that all you guys are being right now?
It's like impossible, right? You can't help someone that doesn't know it. One note, right? You said this earlier, 1 out of 10. You said, look, 1 out of 10, you get $100 per call if you get the 1,000, right? One other thing to note, I'm not a baseball guy. I hate baseball. Sorry if anyone loves baseball.
Astros, baby. Woo!
I'm a football, basketball guy. Love UFC. I'm a big sports fan. If you guys don't know, I used to be a sports journalist for the Miami Dolphins. But I don't really like baseball, but I do like this metaphor. If you bat in baseball, 3 out of 10 times you get a hit and you average 300, meaning 30%, you're a Hall of Famer. You're literally one of the greatest. You're one of the greatest in the planet ever in the history of the world. So think about that in your business. If you succeed, 3 out of 10 times, you're going to be just fine. It's all good. So number one, success is not achieved. It is accrued.
Cool.
Number two, hustle and hack.
Love it. Hey, first off, I'm getting that tattooed on me, by the way.
I love it.
What about like right here somewhere? So.
Hustle and hacks don't create success. It's akin to showing up for practice. Winning is what matters. And I'm going to talk about this here for a second. I'm not going to take too much time on it, but I'm going to bring this up. We live in a world of instant gratification. How do we get things as fast as possible? How do we close deals as fast as possible? How do we get clients as fast as possible? How do we get life hacks and this hack and that hack? And hustle and that hashtag grind, hashtag hustle.
You're in my head, bro. You're in my head, dude.
I get it. I get it. I understand that we want to live this Instagram lifestyle, and I have no problem with it. But at the end of the day, hustle, grinding, muscle, sweat economics, what I call it. Shout out to Austin Netzley and John Davey on that one. It's just showing up for practice. That's just you getting out there and actually doing the work. That part doesn't matter, though. Winning is what matters, meaning taking the action necessary to create the wins. Doesn't mean you're always going to win. I just shared with you 3 out of 10 wins, you're a Hall of Famer, so don't even worry about it. But winning is what matters, not hustling, not hacking, not taking the shortcuts. Winning is what matters. Remember that.
So, and Ricky Bobby said it best, dude. Like, if you're not first, you're last. All right.
Classic.
And you
second place is the first loser.
Dude, and you have to compete against yourself. If you're not brave enough to get out and, dude, call one of us out. I guarantee you, man, I'll give you a run for your money. If you want some accountability, I won't even charge you. If we want to get on a phone call every day for 4 minutes and 27 seconds, that's all our phone call lasts. I time this shit. Every single day, we will do an accountability. And you better have beat me in what I have done. But the cool thing is, it's all about leverage now. You should have other people be doing that shit. So I got 10 other people doing the same thing I would do every single day for me. You know, so that's the type of thing there. So if you're not first, you're not. If you're not first, you're last. Compete against yourself all the time. Go ahead. Winning is what matters.
That's very powerful. 1%.
You gotta beat yourself. If yourself beats you, there's something wrong, man.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things that I talk about in my life personally, it's not just business wise, but it's just my life in general. Just 1% better every day. It's really hard sometimes to like look at other people's success and not try to compare yourself to them and like the track that they took. And it doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. It's outside of your locus of control. And anyone that has success, you should be happy for them. You should be happy that they achieved that success because they probably worked really hard.
It's an aggregate thing, like you were saying, like 1% over every day. Dude, if you do 1% better than yourself every day, you know it's only going to take you 4 months to be 100% better than what you were. You know, a lot of people don't think of it like that. If you break it down into little bitty things, you know, 1% better. And what I like to do, I'm all about leverage. So I try to say, you know, it's not like I have 100 people working for me, but I have 10 people working for me. So if I have 10%, if each person gives 10% of the best of what they do, us as a whole is 100% of what we're trying to accomplish.
100%, dude. I love that so much. Take everything we're talking about, guys, and utilize it. Don't just let this go in one ear and out the other. Please don't do it. It's not necessary to just like.
I beg you, and Dave, I beg you, don't let it just go out the window, man.
All right, number 3. Never. This one is so important to me. I said I learned this week. That's not true, but I'm saying it anyway. So sorry.
We learned it. We learned about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Never let anyone determine success for you. Only you can define how you, your life, and your business can be deemed extraordinary. I think this is really, really important. A lot of people ask me, about like their personal success and how they've achieved, like, did I achieve like Hall of Fame status? Did I, reach the point of being deemed successful? Look, I don't know. That's totally on you. There is no arbitrary figure, number, responsibility, opportunity, achievement that deems success. You're the one that deems it. If success is having your son tell you that he loves you on a daily basis, that's awesome. That is totally great. I don't mind that at all. But please don't let me, don't let Phil, don't let anyone try to tell you what success is. You're the person that deems success. I'm going to say one quick story. I'm going to shoot it to you, Phil, and always probably got to shout out my parents, probably every live I do, because without them, I would never be the person I am. This is a very important story from my dad that I'll never forget. It's with me since day one. And here's what it was. Okay. Another baseball story. How weird that I'm going to bring up two.
And you hate baseball, by the
right?
way.
What the hell? Anyways, I played Little League Baseball. I'm a horrible athlete, just being real. I'm pretty good at Ultimate Frisbee, but I'm a pretty bad athlete overall. So anyways, I pitched a little bit during Little League Baseball, lost a game for the team. I was devastated. I was just so devastated. I thought I wasn't successful. Thought I was garbage. Thought I was worthless. Might have been, 12 at the time. And I was crying in my room after the game. The good thing, I had good friends. I remember at the end of the game, they're like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, rather than the opposite of them putting it on like, oh, it's all your fault. That would have made it worse. But I still had that pressure on me that I thought it was my fault. I thought we lost because of me. And it was just a world of hurt. My dad walked into my room, probably this was maybe 30 minutes after the game, after we got home. I'm crying in my bedroom, 12 years old. And he told me something I'll never forget. And I hope this resonates with you guys. He said, look, son, if you put out your best effort in everything that you do, and even if you lose, even if you don't get the desired result, you still are successful in my eyes. If you put forth your best effort, there's nothing that else you could have done. There's nothing else you could have done. Life is not an 100% success rate. And he said something that was so vulnerable at that time. He said, do you think that I've always been successful? I've never always been successful. I've made a ton of mistakes in my life. This was the first time I understood this idea of highlight reel, right? And he just told me right then and there, he said, look, at the end of the day, if you put forth your best effort, you put your best foot forward every time, then you are deemed successful. That's how I deem success. If I always put forth my best effort, if I'm not half-assing anything, my line, never half-ass, full-ass everything. I don't half-ass things. I always go full force and everything. I give everything my best effort, and that's how I deem myself to be successful. I don't really work up on the outcome. The outcome's going to come the way I want it to if I learn from my mistakes and I put forth my best effort. That's really important to me. Thoughts?
Yeah, man. I think of this. I think of it the same way. I was always told, one thing is I'm never a quitter. I'm only going to quit when I die. But I'm not able to keep going and going and going. And my father ingrained that in me a long time ago. Is you're never a failure if you keep on trying and trying and trying. I was lucky enough. I was a very good athlete. I was I had multiple full rides for multiple sports. I just had to choose which way. And I ended up going golf too, by the way, something not really very, very hit. But I turned pro as a golfer in 2000. And it was just something that I knew I was going to do for the rest of my life. And my hot head got in the way a little bit. But the biggest thing, just kind of going back to that, is it kind of segues to me into me and you, Alex, where we were talking about this the other day when we when we were doing our little spot for this, when I was about to go eat some barbecue, and we were kind of trying to amping this thing up, and I got 2.5 foot of snow, and it came.
It was 75 degrees in Tampa.
It was snowing. It was live. It was snowing so bad that it was messing up cell phone service, but it just came into the point of, look, me and Alex is one way. He puts himself out there for you to model, to start, to give a hand up, not a handout, a hand up. I'm the same way. If you're eccentric, and look, everybody thinks I'm very eccentric, I'm outgoing, I'm stuff. I'm freaking, look, I used to be a hair model when I was in high school and college. Does that not freaking freak you out right now? All right. Okay. So now can you see where I am very outspoken? I know what I'm going to talk about, but me getting in front of a camera, it's very skittish. It's very not me. It's very scary because I don't really understand myself. Now, we set our paths to help you get to where you want to go to, or to success. Don't recreate us. Don't try to be me. I got 37 years of being Phillip Caillavet. You think you're going to freaking outdo me? Hell no. Alex a little bit younger. He's got a lot of experience being Alex Schlinsky. Don't try to be Alex Schlinsky.
100% be you, guys.
Dude, start the method. Start it somewhere and then find the true you. And when you find the true you and you find that little thing, That is your differentiator. Everybody's talking about service differentiator. I spend a shitload of money on freaking Facebook. I spend $507,000 a month on Facebook. I spend $1.4 million a month on Google. You think that's my differentiator? No, I'm straight cut. I tell you how it's going to be. If you're not going to be on my level, you're not going to be on my team. That's as soon as that I realized that. And I know right off the rip. That's why I asked those first 3 questions. If we're going to be that type of person, if I crack a joke and nobody laughs, trust me. You don't ask Argel. It's so not comfortable for a lot of people, but for me, it's all fucking fun and games, baby. It's dollars and cents, dude.
Perfect segue. I have to interrupt because literally, you said it's about fun, right?
That's right.
Number 4, you don't like to work because you don't like what you're doing. Phil, I love this. It's 9:20 p.m. right now. I should be with my wife, chilling, watching Netflix, drinking this beer by myself. But I'm on here not because I have to be, not because I'm paid to be, because I love this. I love what I do. I'm so inspired by this daily, every single day. I'm invigorated by this, such as Phil and hopefully everyone here. If you love what you do, throw a heart in the comments below. If you don't love what you do, be real with us. Tell us that you don't love it, and let's make a switch so that you do love what you do. Because I'm sick and tired of people telling me, I don't like it. I don't like working. I don't like doing this. It's because you don't like what you do. That was from Gary Vee, by the way. Watched him speak. That was probably the number one thing that I took away from his speech.
Dude, if you don't like what you're doing, get out now. Because
get out.
I'm sorry. We'll help you with whatever you want to do. Look, maybe you're not set up to be an agency owner. Maybe you love sales. Maybe you love prospecting. Maybe you're the guy who likes taking the orders at McDonald's. I don't know. But figure out what you like to do and do it. And if it involves online marketing, it involves, just keep that in mind, that what you don't know and what you're learning now from Alex is way more than what your entire audience or your entire target market knows.
100%.
Know it, dude. None of them know it. And if you could go in there, I'm sorry for the girls here, but go in there and grab your fucking nuts, dude, and just be like, I am the fucking king. This is my business. This is my industry. You might sell houses good, but what happens when your referrals dry up and they die? Everybody fucking dies. What's going to happen? You're going to need me to be loading your coffers. And that's why I love Dracula, dude. I'm talking about coffers and just filling up. Yeah, dude. And that's the type of stuff, because whenever you need it, I'm going to be there. And if you put that out there to your clients, whenever you need me, you might not need me right now. I might be an appendage. I might be a third leg or a fourth nut. I mean, if people have 3 nuts and they have 4th nut. So, but I don't know where I'm going with that. But still, I might be that person for you. Go ahead and start the process. And that's a big thing. A lot of people need what you're trying to put out there right now. Let them know that there's not a better time to start than right now. Are you going to keep doing the same thing you did 4 months ago and get the same exact results? Or are you trying to be $100,000 a year person? Or are you trying to be a $250,000 a year person?
Seriously, stop doing what you don't like doing. Start doing what you like doing. Simple as that. Number 5, and the final thing I learned this week, and I'm going to post this on Friday. Number 5, this is straight from John Davey and Austin Nestle, 2 people I respect extremely in this industry, as friends as well. Shout out to John. I love you, brother. Simplicity is the key to scaling. Taking a step back is a way to quantum leap forward, not just move forward, literally quantum leap. I'm working with right now 4 one-on-one clients. 2 of them have very successful on paper businesses, over $10,000 a month in recurring revenue. But their business is built on a house of cards. One big blow and it all falls apart. Simplicity is the key to scaling. The reason why people have businesses built on a house of cards with a lot of recurring revenue, like Phil said earlier, is because they don't have the systems to maintain that recurring revenue. And then when it falls apart, it's devastating. It's devastating. It's a horrendous feeling for that to happen. If I can catch it if I can make a house of cards and throw concrete on top of it before it falls apart, that's awesome. That's what I would do. That's what I want to do. And I'm really empowered. Yeah, sprinkle the concrete bay.
Concrete bay.
So like you just got to be simple with this. And that's really the key to scaling. Take a step back, you can really quantum leap forward. And I'm speaking to the choir here. I've been forced over the last 5 months to really remove a lot of the garbage in my business and in my life in order to really quantum leap forward and achieve what I want to achieve. So for example, one of my biggest goals this year is to do more live speaking. I love speaking. I love entertaining. I love providing value. I love motivating. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's my master. That's what I can do at the highest level. And this Friday, I get to speak at my alma mater. I get to speak at UCF, and I'm insanely honored to do that. I'm very, very excited to do that. Now, I would not be able to appreciate that, brother. I would not be able to do that if I was dilly-dallying on other garbage that's not necessary.
Dilly-dillying?
Dilly-dillying. Dilly-dilly.
Dilly-dilly.
You got to simplify in order to scale. I think that is a really big key. Phil, if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to go.
It just all goes back.
Before Phil goes into it, other than that, guys, we're going to end here probably in the next 5-10 minutes. Now's your time to ask questions. Throw them in the comments below. We'll answer any questions you have. I'll go back and answer the ones that you had, Jay Daniel and Stas and a couple other people. If you have any questions, do not hold your breath. Do not wait. Do not pass go or collect $200. Go for it now. Other than that, simplicity is the key to scaling. Taking a step back is a way to quantum leap forward. Thoughts on that, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, it just all goes back to your small successes and goals. You don't have to have just such a large 30,000 foot overview. You don't. Just make it simple. Create very targeted aspirations and goals that you can achieve. And if you do that multiple times, it's what we call a streak for Major League, and that's how you get your quantum leap, your quantum leap forward, because it's very quickly and very easily accomplished to go from $1,000 a month to $10,000 a month before you even know it. And it's more about simplifying it and asking for it and putting yourself out there. You're never going to get what you don't ask for. Okay. My first $10,000 a month client, he was it wasn't even that I valued it. I thought that I was overcharging. All right. But I simplified the situation, and I figured that we've gone through 3 conversations about his needs in marketing. He's a B2B company that his average client is over $1 million. So I'm like simplifying it. Let me just throw a number out there. I know I can give him what he wants. That's going to be my first $20,000 a month client. Bam, done. And I had that client for freaking 4 or 5 months, man. And that was my first client in the digital in what we called, it was Digital SEO Pro at the time. All right. My first client was a $20,000 a month client that had paid 3 months in advance.
Powerful. Super
powerful. So simplified. I just took it to the point of, I had 3 conversations with the guys. I knew what they wanted. And I understood their budget. I got it from them 3 different times in 3 different ways. I just maneuvered my way right in there, Hey, it worked out.
It's unbelievable. I love it, man.
It worked out for me because, hey, it was an SEO client. I don't do SEO. If you want to do SEO, go to the back of the bus.
Get out of here.
I'm 100% behind clients. Every one of my SEO clients, how I got to $60,000 a month was SEO clients. Every one of them think they want SEO until month 2 comes around. And then they're like, hey, Where the fuck is my leads at? What am I? We are creatures of habit, and we are creatures of instant gratification. Never know anything else other than instant gratification. If they tell you they want SEO, they tell you want the likes, they tell you want this, nothing. They want leads, they want sales. And that's why I don't even speak of leads or
People want clients. That's what they want. I think we got frozen Phil again. That's okay. We'll wait till he comes back on. Basically, what I'm going to do now, guys, as we close out, I'm going to go through some of the questions that you have. I'm sure Phil will try to jump back on here before we end. If not, all the love to you, Phil, man. Amazing, amazing call. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to answer these questions. I see Jay Daniel asked a couple, and so did Stas. Guys, if you have any questions, ask now. I'm going to answer them, and then we'll hop off for the day. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, Jay Daniel, so you wake up, it's 4 a.m. What's the first thing you do? No joke, I would go back to sleep. There's 0% chance I'd wake up at 4 a.m., just being straight up with you. When I do wake up, though, I'll give you kind of a rundown of that, a little bit of my plan. I'm really not a morning person. I struggle significantly with that, to be straight up. It's really hard for me to wake up. I don't know why. I need to be more motivated than I am on it, just being frank. So when I do wake up, usually it's anywhere between, on a Monday, I always wake up earlier. I feel like I'm more motivated, I guess, which is kind of weird. I don't know if it's a psyche thing or I'm not really sure on it yet, Jay. But basically what I do is I wake up anywhere from 7 to 8. I'll have coffee. I will then write in my 5-minute journal, which is right here. This is very important to me. Gratitude is a pillar of my life. I always try to remember to be grateful for what I have, because a lot of people don't have the things that I currently have, or I didn't have the things that I currently have. And it's really important to remember perspective. Very, very key. So I do that. I try to meditate a little bit. Huge shout out to Matthew Ryder on that. He told me to do that last year. It's been a huge benefit for my life and business over the last, I don't even know, 2-3 years. I think Phil's back here, guys. What's up, brother?
All good. My prepaid internet, bro.
All good. So
what I'm doing, fucking shut up, honestly, dude. So.
So what I'm doing now is Jay Daniel asked, it's what do you do the first thing in the morning? So I do. I try to meditate. I don't do it consistently. The thing that I do consistently, though, is I take 30 minutes to myself. Whatever that is, every day changes, to be honest. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I look at Twitter. Other times I'm on Reddit. Other times I don't even look at anything. I'm just enjoying the moments of being alone. And then I dive into work in terms of whatever is on my calendar. That's what I do the first thing I wake up. What do you do when you wake up?
Dude, I don't do dick. I probably scratch my nuts a little bit, but I don't really do much in terms of. I start out with the whole miracle method. It's another good book. How Elrod, if you want to read that book, it's an awesome, good one, yeah. Awesome book, dude. Just get it and do it. My me time is like I go to the gym every once in a while. Right now, it's just kind of been frozen tundra. But that's my part of my productive morning. So I really start. That's if you haven't read my I guess what is it my standard practice or my operations every single day, kind of what I do. That's when I'm reading my emails. That's when I'm responding to stuff. That's when I'm messing around on Evernote. I'm hacking shit at that time. That's my morning routine. When I wake up, the craziest thing is I go to sleep living and breathing and thinking this shit. And I dream.
Me too.
I dream about one thing that's got me ahead of everything. I dream about the worst for my largest clients. My clients that are paying me $6,000 and $7,000 a month. I have a Alex knows better than just as well that we've gone through some of the same stuff. I have a reoccurring internal dream of my largest clients disputing charges. It's crazy. It's kind of like, what would $7,000 or $8,000 be taken away from me? What would it be like? So I kind of wake up with that mind frame of how can I best really give back to my clients and what can I do at that time? So, I'm not a meditator. Maybe that's what I need, but I'd much rather go punch people in the face,
So just on meditation real quick, anxiety has been something I dealt with for a long time. As more clients, more people in POD, more stress and pressure. You guys know in POD, I'm on like every single post 5 minutes after a post because I'm crazy. But Matthew Ryder, seriously, he pushed me into the focus of doing meditation. I try to do that at least twice a week, if not more. And it really has made a big difference in my life, no doubt.
Do I need Matthew Ryder in my life?
I love Matthew Ryder. He's my man. I love you, Matthew.
I have a super huge funnel right now that I need to have some good copywriting to. And
Matthew's
cool.
your guy.
It's about a calls, man. I mean, dude, when's the
writing right now the new automation for POD? He's the best. I love Matthew. I have a youth. I'm looking for mothers who are 35 to 40 with kids that are sitting on the bench for a basketball, dude. And it's one of the funnest, most fulfilling funnels that I've ever been a part of in full campaigns I've ever been a part of. Dude, I'm a freaking real estate freaking guru. I bought 60 something fucking houses. I flipped them and then all of a sudden what I've learned from just somebody knowing me as a funnel guy or thinking outside the box and stuff. Now I get to deal with a coach that is trying to teach fundamentals of basketball to the youth around the United States, man. Dude, where else would you fall into that awesomeness of being able to be a part? Business we're in. I love this business. It's so powerful. Guys, we've been doing this for an hour and 40 minutes. It's been an unbelievable podcast. If you've enjoyed this, throw a 7 or 3 in the comments below, please. We appreciate you. And thank you so much for sticking around with us and enjoying this. Also, feel free to let us know what you thought was the most valuable thing here tonight. We're going to end this call with the most common question that I get asked. And I'm going to end every podcast with this question. Phil?
Yep.
Brand new to marketing. I'm desperate. I need a client. What's the fastest way to the cash? How do I get a client the fastest way?
Dude, you got to become a hooker, man. And honestly, dude, I'm not even playing, dude. You have to be a hooker. And you have to find yourself a pimp. All right? And you have to get out there and sell yourself and your network, who you know, your sphere of influence. You got to go out there and you got to fuck your sphere of influence. And then us as your pimp, Alex, Prospecting on Demand Fulfillment, Rebel Yells, Fulfillment, let us help you get the money. All right. Leverage our skills, leverage our results, leverage our case studies. That's the fastest way to get money. Position yourself in between something in A and C. We'll let you be B. So A and C, and you be the B, and bring us the clientele, and let us do what we do best, get you the money. And that's the best way to do it, man. And look, stop stepping over the dimes to get to the dollars. I guarantee you, once you see it working, $750 a month for doing nothing but probably pulling on your fucking pecker a little bit is not a bad life.
Not at all.
Dude,
don't be greedy is what Phil's saying. Don't be greedy. Go out there and create an opportunity for yourself.
Dude,
man,
don't think of $2,000 or $2,500 a month. That's 3 clients. All right. Think of 5 at $750. It's the same damn thing. All you got to do is introduce. All you got to do is put them in our court. That's the quickest way to it. And then once you're doing that, we understand that you're in it to win it, and we will unload everything, process, procedure, everything for you to make that your own. But you got to come into the fold somehow. You can't just jump in the ring with Ali because you think that you can box. All right. If you jump in my ring, I'm fucking knocking you out, dude, honestly. And I tell that shit to a lot of them people. Don't go advertising in the spaces that I'm advertising because I'm going to blow you out the fucking water. But if you're in this group and you want to matriculate yourself into a certain area, dude, I am 100%. I've done it at least 3 times this past year. I've moved myself out of a certain area because I knew someone that was hustling their ass off for a client in a certain area that I wasn't going to compete with them. All right. Ask. You're part of a network. You're part of something completely special and completely it's unlike, it's uncanny. We're the X-Men, if you really think about it. We're this day and age X-Men. And there are 750,000 small and medium-sized businesses out there waiting for you to say, hey, I'm Phillip Caillavet. Let me get you more clients.
Guys, what an unbelievable call. I've had 2 beers. I think that's pretty solid in an hour and 40 minutes. I'm not pretending to drink that I drink like a whole 6-pack, but that was fun, guys. I had a lot of good times. I hope you really enjoyed it. Feel free to throw in the comments, what resonated with you most tonight? What are you going to take away from this? Because Phil and I don't want you to just leave tonight and be like, woo, that was great, and then wake up tomorrow and not do anything. So tell us what you thought was great. If you have any more questions, you can throw them in the comments, and Phil and I will try to get to them tomorrow. No chance I'm doing anything else tonight, just being real. It's 9:40 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to kick it out of here and get to bed and relax for the rest of the evening. Guys, what I want to do to close out today's call, Phil, where can people find you? First start there.
Dude, look, I'm all over Facebook. I'm in 27 different locations. You can find me probably, I'm the Mad Hatter somewhere. But dude, my name is spelled Cailllavet. Look it up. If you put that shit in Google, I'm probably on the first 2 pages. And nobody else can fucking touch me with those 2 pages.
He's also going to be tagged at the top of the post, so you can click his profile and reach out to him. We're not going to bite, so don't worry.
No.
If you're not
I'm not coming out with anything crazy, man, but I want people to know, look, a lot of people are coming into this thing in the real estate niche real quick, real fast and in a hurry. I'm tired. I'm not tired of talking to y'all. I love talking to y'all. But I'm tired of I'm not.
Oh no. I think we might have lost him again. That prepaid internet, guys. That prepaid internet. I think that comes to the end for today's call, guys. I guess we'll have to just be left on a whim, knowing what Phil's last comment was. I'm sure he'll comment below what his last comment was. But guys, I really enjoyed this tonight. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this style of podcast, kind of just like a chat rather than an interview. Let me know if you liked it. Feel free to give us any feedback. Just trying to make these better. This is going to be the second of many podcasts. The next podcast is going to feature an unbelievable POD Hall of Famer. It's going to be incredible. We're going to have a great time as always. Oh, Phil, you back?
Dude, I'm back, dude.
Woo! All right, we can close it out. Close it out.
Dude, let's close it out. Let's close it out, man. Real quick. Dude, jump in dick first, dude. I'm telling you. Don't be scared. Do it for your mama if you're not doing it for anybody else. Look, dude, it's all about you. It's all about the Benjamins. And it's all about messing up to not get it wrong 2 times in a row. All right. And if you just really prescribe to that, I'm telling you, anything and everything that I do, it's not special. there's a few people that do it. Ryan's one of them. There's Alex is another one. And if you get tired of people telling you no, that is how you're gonna get your yeses, man. Just get tired of that shit. Figure it out. We're here for you. Alex is here for you. I'm here for you. If you're part of this select crew of Prospecting on Demand, you have a little bit. If you're outside of Prospecting on Demand, sorry. If you're seeing this on the other group, not really even sure what it's called. What is it called, Alex?
Prospecting Powerhouses.
Prospecting Powerhouse. Dude, I'm $500 an hour. I actually sell $750 an hour for 3 30-minute sessions, or $750 for 3 30-minute sessions. Alex probably does the same exact thing. That should just let you know, get in Prospecting on Demand, and you don't have to pay for any of that bullshit, and you get real data. I'm going to leave this thing with, don't push case studies. Don't push free trials. This is just me. This is me straight talking right now. All right. No free trials, no case studies. Results,
oh my God. Free trials. Get out of here.
Results, come to me. Dude, I'm spending freaking I'm spending freaking 6 and 7 figures on all this shit. I'll give you what you need in multiple shit. If you're part of this freaking crew, if you're part of this shit and you think that's what it takes to close a client, which it's not, all it takes is saying, hey, Phillip, do you have 15 minutes to get on? Nah, bro, I need 5 minutes. I'll close your client in 5 minutes for you. Get me on the freaking call. If you're part of this whole crew, Prospecting on Demand, get me on the call. Get Alex on the call. We're going to close. We're going to get you to 5, 6 figures a month, get you making, dude, I mean, shit, I'm running, dude, I would love to say that I'm going to hit $1 million this year. I would love to say.
It's going to happen.
But I'm probably hitting $890,000. So
you're going to hit it, bro. 100% you're going to hit it.
Hey, maybe it happens. Maybe it happens. But we're there for you when it comes to push comes to shove, man. We all have calendars. If there's a little spot in mine's called a 15-minute power session. 15 minutes can go a long way. 15 minutes with me, you're going to figure out real quick if you got dingleberries or not. So,
do you have the chops, guys?
So, some people aren't ready, man. Some people think they want to advertise, but they were like, "Man, dude, you got a 2.0 rating on Yelp, bro. You sure?"
Oh no. Okay, guys. All right. Well, this is the end here, guys. What a fun podcast this was. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a lot of fun. If you did, throw 7s and 3s in the comments below. What a night it was. I had a lot of fun. I know Phil did. I appreciate you guys so much for checking us out and enjoying this tonight. The next podcast is going to be awesome as well. It's going to be next month. I'm not exactly sure the date yet, but it will be in March. I'm not going to name the person yet, but you're going to like it. I guarantee it. Every podcast is going to feature a POD Hall of Famer, someone that has skill set to share with you that you're going to really enjoy and going to learn from. I hope you learn from tonight's live. And there,
you gotta forgive me. I'm in Montana, dude. So you got.
Oh, good, man. It's all good,
sky, dude. So, look, man. I had this made for me a long time ago. Figure this out. This is the lion heart. Have that heart, man. Have what it takes for you to go out and create your future. That's just all I can say, man. Create your future.
Create it.
And don't let anybody that makes less money than you tell you how to make money. That's my number one thing.
Anyone that makes more money, to be honest. Anyone that makes
honestly,
don't even be focused on anyone else. Do your thing, learn from the people that resonate with you, and grow. Guys, it has been an unbelievable evening. What a lot of fun we had. Phil and I have been trying to do this for quite some time. We're so happy that we got to do this and share this value with you. If you enjoyed tonight, feel free to throw comments below. 7 3s, loves, shares. We don't care. Whatever it is. Feel free to ask any questions. Tell us what was the most valuable thing. The biggest request I have from you, don't be afraid to reach out to me and give me feedback on this. I'd love to hear from you on this. I want to make this as valuable as possible when we do this. The next POD Hall of Famer that's coming in, he's going to bring the fire just like Phil did. We've had 2 great podcasts now in a row, guys, and it's just going to keep getting better. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. All the best to you all sincerely. Have a wonderful night.